And staying in the Middle East, President Donald Trump's return to the White House has scared Iran to its core. The Islamic regime has ordered its proxies to exercise caution and not provoke Washington at any cost. Meanwhile, Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is avoiding public locations and wearing flak jackets even at private events. Our final story dives into the threat Iran faces as President Donald Trump settles down in the White House.
Amid a period of crippling economy and harsh military setbacks, Iran faces one more challenge: U.S. President Donald Trump's return to the White House. Fearing a wipeout, the Islamic regime has reportedly ordered its proxies across the Middle East to take every step with caution and maintain defensive positions. Tehran has also asked commanders of its allied forces to avoid provoking Washington or the regional enemies.
Forces and allies in the region have been instructed to act with caution as the regime feels an existential threat with Trump's return. In Iraq and Yemen, forces have been told not to target any American assets, and if they do, they are explicitly warned against using Iranian weapons. They have been told to keep defensive positions for a while and to avoid any actions that might provoke the Americans.
The fear of an existential threat is evident in Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's latest deeds. Last week, the 85-year-old Iranian cleric appeared to be wearing a flak vest while attending the funeral of two Supreme Court judges who were gunned down inside the country's apex court. While standing over the coffins, Khamenei was pictured with his robes bulging at unusual angles.
They
were rewarded with their martyrdom in the way of God, at the hands of God's enemies. Those who die as martyrs actually received a reward from God.
And the same week, the Iranian Supreme Leader toured an exhibition at a government venue next to his residence, continuing a pattern of avoiding public locations. Once a powerful clerical regime, Iran has been significantly weakened in recent years due to back-to-back misfortunes. In 2022, civil unrest and protests erupted against the Iranian government following the death of Mahsa Amini, who was detained by the nation's morality police for not wearing a hijab properly. Next was Israel's attacks on its proxies like Hamas, Hezbollah and Houthis, and an apparent infiltration of Israeli spies into Iran. And just last month, with the fall of Bashar al-Assad's regime in Syria, Iran lost a key weapons smuggling route for its proxies.
The fall of Assad has intensified fears in the regime. There are now fears they may not be able to hold on to the country after witnessing what happened to Assad, which no one here expected. A large-scale operation is underway to identify and arrest Israeli spies and infiltrators, and there are concerns that they may have infiltrated high-ranking offices.
To top all of Iran's problems, Trump in December said anything can happen when asked about the chances of going to war with Iran. Though in a recent remark, the US president said it would be nice if the Iranian nuclear crisis could be solved without a military strike on Tehran. Meanwhile, Iran's vice president has denied that his country is at its weakest position and hoped that Trump would be more serious and focused this time around.
I hope that this time around, a Trump 2 will be more serious, more focused, more realistic, to know that his withdrawal the withdrawal that was imposed on him, and he has said it that he did it for Israel. And he has said now that he won't do anything for any other country. He said it on his inauguration. After he withdrew from JCPOA, Iran has gained much more nuclear capability.
Tehran is also strengthening its ties with Vladimir Putin by trying to acquire Russia's S-400 air defense system. But experts say, under Trump's shadow, Iran's Supreme Leader Khamenei faces 4 difficult years ahead that could reshape the region.
We're calling the show Vantage. We hope you like what we put together for you. Touted as the minimum defense from that video. India's neighbors were the first to send the special edition of Vantage live from the White House throughout this week. Yes, Hindu Mandir in we're on our way to Tel Aviv measure, but it's also the perfect way to drive.
I don't think that
Prime Minister of Bhutan, Sherin Tagwe. Welcome to
60% of the world's
office, Prime Minister Modi. Divyang,
we were actually
how are you doing? How do you like? It's been 1 year since that meeting. Iron bars separate you from the outside. Out the vote effort. Trump had, it says, and at $4.3 trillion. 4.3 300 billion by 2030. That's what we need to tackle climate change.